positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
Family, what it do?
What up?
Positive energy and good vibrations. You know what it is. This is RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and this is definitely the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Your TR, say what up, man.
What up, good people? Hey, this your man TR_Triple coming to y'all with another episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. And we promise to be savage as fuck tonight.
That's crazy. We're going to be savages. Yeah, I'm trying not to curse so much, Troy, so I'm not repeating your habits right now. I'm trying to behave myself. I'm trying to elevate, Troy. But I know at some point in this way, you're going to have me curse and say something crazy. I know.
We must have a new sponsor or something. He's trying to behave himself. He's fucking act like we got a Nike deal or some shit, motherfucker. You act like we got signed by Reebok or something. Like.
Yeah, you listen. You never know. I might have it in the back channels working. You never know. I could be signed with somebody with a check. I don't know.
Yo, let's bring Pony back. How about that?
Pony?
Remember Pony?
The sneakers Pony?
That's it. Let's bring them back.
Nah. Let's. If anything, I say Saucony's. The Saucony's are more comfortable.
Saucony.
Yeah, whatever. Saucony, you know what I'm talking about, nigga.
Diodora.
Yo, listen. I'm not sitting here going down memory lane. Let's do what we do, yo. Yo, Troy, you know what? And like because you on one tonight, I'm gonna let you pray tonight.
Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah, we're gonna let you pray tonight.
Oh man, I should have got my Bible. Woo, I'm in here sweating. We ready? Let me know when we ready.
Yeah,
I ain't even write my prayer down today, but I'm good. I got you.
Oh my God.
We're gonna talk to the Father.
Yeah, we do around here, man. We're gonna talk to the Father and then we're gonna pay our bills. But we're gonna do something that's not normal, guys. And you guys who follow us, you know, we about to let Troy do something that he's been trying to do for the last couple of weeks. So, Troy, talk to the Father, man.
Hey, Heavenly Father, listen, we come to you with our heads bowed, with our hearts open, with our minds open, giving you all the blessing, all the praises for allowing us to be on the air another week. Heavenly Father, we ask that you bless and touch all of the ears and the minds and the hearts that we reach every single week. And Heavenly Father, we know without you, we could not be here. And without you, our listeners could not be here. So Heavenly Father, we ask that you just bless everybody, Heavenly Father, and allowing them to keep tuning in. And Heavenly Father, I want to say a special prayer for Doc because he put me on the spot this week. And he's probably going to try and throw me out while my eyes are closed, Heavenly Father. But don't let him do it because the devil is a liar. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I was deep in my prayer. Did you see my eyes was closed?
Yeah, listen, I see your eyes closed, but I also see you peek open when you also put the prayer in. Like the Lord, don't let him throw me off.
Did you see my eye open? I was like, is he trying to put me out?
Yeah, see, but that's how you know Troy's been through a whole bunch of trauma in his life. He's caused the majority of it. As you can tell, he has a guilty ass conscience.
Listen, I gotta pray. Listen, sometimes you gotta pray with one eye open. You never know when your enemies is coming, bro.
Listen. So as you guys know, man, around here we gotta pray and talk to the Father, but we also gotta pay the bills because we are blessed to have phenomenal sponsors. This beautiful podcast, man.
Absolutely.
So check this out. They're over at Now or Never. It's Now or Never Entertainment. I mean, all your music needs. Whether it be reels, you need music for a movie background, you need music for any kind of content. Holla at that guy over at It's Now or Never ENT for all your music needs. Hip hop, R&B, gospel, you name it. There's a few genres he said he's not doing, but we're working on them. You know what I mean? Put a little pressure on him. Tell him you came from the Imperfect Fathers Podcast, and he'll give you a discount. Use the word imperfect, and he'll give you 50% off on any beat in the beat store.
I'm going to make him step it up. I'm going to make him give y'all 51.75% off.
Yes, and he talked about last week, I was messing with his bag. Now he's messing with his bag.
51.75%.
Yeah, listen, I guess Troy gonna put in that 1, 3, 4% that he's gonna try to get you guys. So Listen, you better shop smart. You better shop black. You better shop It's Now Not Ever in ENT. Yo, so check this out. That shirt that Troy have on is fire, but it's not from the shirt where I'm wearing right now. The shirt that I'm wearing right now, it is proved and stamped from Cassie's Classic Design, another sponsor of the Beautiful Podcast. So for all your printing needs, whether it be shirts, signs, cups, hats, even drawers, anything you need to print on, Cassie's Classic Design is the way to go. If you want to get at her directly, it's Cassie's Classic Design at Gmail. But if you want to get at her at Instagram, it's Cassie's _classic_design. So Troy should be on 1 million right now after he's prayed and told to the Father. So you should.
I just want to know, how come you and your light-skinned wife don't ever ship your cousin a shirt?
You don't ever ask Troy, what shirt do you want?
I want them all. Like every time you get a new shirt, bro, that say Imperfect Fathers, I feel like
Imperfect Fathers. What do you mean? This is Imperfect Gentleman shirt.
But why we can't have one that say Imperfect Fathers? Imperfect Fathers was born from the imperfect gentleman. I mean, we wasn't necessarily born from your scrotum, but we was born.
This platform was created.
That's what I was saying. That's what I said. This platform was created. From imperfect.
Not from my scrotum, right?
Pretty much.
Right.
But if I don't get a shirt next time I see you, you're gonna get kicked in the scrotum.
I'm not even worried about it. You gotta go through mad therapy to get your hip up. you gotta go through mad therapy.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about addictions, man.
Oof.
Yeah. We're gonna go there tonight. We're gonna talk a little bit about addictions tonight, man, and what they cost. See, it's like we don't ever really talk about what addictions cost people. You know what I mean? Like how they affect people and the people around them.
Yeah.
So yeah, tonight we're gonna talk about addictions, man, and the cost of addictions, right? We're gonna talk about what kind of addiction there are and all those kind of things.
You know, and that's something that's really near and dear to my heart for a variety of different reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I come from addicts.
Right.
You know, my mother is, you know, God bless, she is, I don't know, maybe 20 years sober, if not more. You know, from that dirty drug crack. You know, my pops, I don't know what kind of drugs he was on. He just cocaine, probably, you know.
Right. Hell of a drug.
Hell of a drug, man. And we come from a family of addicts.
Right. Facts. We
come from a family of addicts. And it's crazy because, man, this is a deep thing, because once upon a time I was talking to my therapist about addiction, because it is the primary reason that my mother and I have had a strained relationship in the past. Mm-hmm. And people will say addiction is a disease. Mm. And I'm not so convinced. I know what science says, and I know what all the 12-step programs and all the counselors say, but it's a disease that people choose sometimes, right? Because there are other times that, you know, when we look at especially the opioid epidemic, some people choose that too. But oftentimes when we look at the opioid epidemic, that is sometimes chosen for the person by their doctor who might be over prescribing opioids. But we'll come back to that.
True.
We'll come back to that. But man, the cost of addiction, though, I will say it is everything.
Bro, yo, Troy, the reason I even chose this topic this week is because, excuse me, I realized like I have an addictive personality to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. Like when I get something that I like, I will binge on it, right? I will stick with it. And I realized I'm like, yo, I'm in a space where my life where I'm praying for awareness, right? So I'm actually seeking things out now. But I never knew before this time and point that I had that kind of personality that's addictive, right? I didn't know that was part of my personality traits. And now I'm like, yo, I'm really processing and thinking to myself, yo, to all the things that you could be addicted to in the world, and all the vices, right? All the drugs out there, everything, and you not know that you have a type of personality, and you just running through your life. We got, like you said, we come from a family of addicts, and it's crazy because it's not what it costs the person that's actually going through with the addiction. It's everyone else around them.
Yeah. And let's be clear, folks. Addiction is not just drugs.
Right.
It really is anything that you create an unhealthy habit about that has an impact on your well-being, your physical well-being, your mental well-being, your family, your children, the people that love you. I don't care whether it's gambling, if it's drugs, if it's porn, if it's sex, if it's shopping, right? I mean, there's so many things, right? And some people might not say this is a bad thing, but the reality is, you know, some people have addictions to plastic surgery. Some people have addictions to going to the gym.
Seriously.
Right? They look at their body and say it's not good enough.
Facts.
Right? So I want to do something real quick as we continue to kind of jump into the subject. There is a national helpline, right? And Doc, I don't know if you want to put this up, but it's 1-800-662.
Hold on. 1-800 what?
662. 4357.
357. Okay. And that's what, national help, you said?
Yeah, that's the national helpline. Right. And you can call and get help for a variety of different things, right?
So Troy, one more time for the people that's going to be checking us out on audio. That room one time.
Yo, that number, national helpline, 1-800-662-4357.
Right.
And it's you know, and I got to really look at, you know, where we are in terms of this pandemic, because I think, and I don't have any numbers to kind of go behind it. It is, bro, what number did you put up there? Definitely not the number I just gave you.
You said 273-8255?
No, I said 800-662.
I don't know where the number came from. Oh, you know what? I'm putting up the last one you did from last week, Troy. My bad. That's national prevention. What is it again? 662?
800-662-4357.
357.
I was watching a talk show the other morning, and they were talking about these mothers who basically turned into alcoholics during the pandemic, right? They're home all the time with their children, and they were rewarding themselves at the end of the day with a glass of wine. Well, that glass of wine turned into 2 glasses, 3 glasses, 4 glasses, a bottle, 2 bottles, 3 bottles. And you've got these women, white and black, right, who before COVID, right, they were going to work because their children were in school or they were in daycare, whatever it is. They had functional jobs. They were taking care of their families. And in the course of a year, they became alcoholics.
Yeah.
Right. Which is a form of addiction. And it's tough because I don't think they necessarily set out, obviously, to become alcoholics.
So Troy, that brings up a point that I wanted to get to. Where do addictions come from in your mindset? Because like you said, they became this. Let's use them for example. So they had this time and opportunity, right? COVID sat us all down, and had this time and space. What brought about the fact that they had this time now that made them want to pick this vice up? What do you believe that?
I don't think it was that they had time. I think, you know, think about it, man. Sometimes at the end of a hard day, you might say, "Man, I need a drink."
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you might stop home. You might stop at the bar on your way home. I need a drink, or you get home. Shit, I might get home and be like, "Yo, I need to smoke," right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's when it happens so repetitively, and you get that there's something that happens in the mind. There's something that triggers in the mind because you get this good feeling. That very first sip of whatever it is, it becomes relaxing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, you've had 2 or 3 glasses. Listen, I've sat at home and got drunk, just not on purpose, just like, man, I feel good. I'm relaxed. Next thing I know, I'm 6 gin and tonics in.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not every day.
Right.
And it's funny because I remember when I met, my current wife in the beginning, when I was single, listen, I was out all the time. I was drinking all the time. And she said, "Yo, you drink a lot." And it was something that I had to, kind of pay attention to. In the beginning, I was like, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. But then I was like, man, that's my 3rd bottle of gin this week.
Mm-hmm. But yo, Troy, so so I guess I didn't word the question for you. Where did the addictions come from? Because to me, from my standpoint is this, the way I think about it is this: the addiction is something that's undealt with. Addictions, they come about because it's something that has not been dealt with. So I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's up? What you got?
No, I was gonna say I'm not a clinician, right? I'm not a drug counselor. I'm not a alcohol addiction counselor. I'm not a gambling counselor. Again, for me, some things are chosen, right? When you pick up cocaine, when you pick up meth, when you pick up crack, you are instantly saying, I'm looking to pick up an addiction. Right? We know what these drugs do.
But hold on, what if you did? What if you had in the party scene you young? Like, it's so many nuances to this. This is why I love this, because it's like we can go down so many roads. But like, my thing is overall, what addictions come, where they come from. Like, I just believe, like I said before, I'm me like you. I'm no clinician. I am no therapist or any of that. That's our disclaimer. I just believe that addictions happen because or come about because there's some undone work. There's just some trauma somewhere, I believe.
Yeah. I think some addictions come because people are looking to mask the pain.
There you go.
Right? Whatever it is, whether it is I'm not happy at home or, life is shitty, I've been molested. Like, there's so many different things. There's so many different things that we can look at when we talk about addiction, because there's also sexual addiction.
Facts.
Right? And I will say there was a point in my life where I was like, shit, maybe I'm a sex addict. But through my therapy, I just realized I just fucking love sex. Like, I wasn't out paying for it. I wasn't running the street. I just love sex.
Right.
But I think
So my question, hold on, one question now, Troy. So when does that just your love for something become an addiction?
Well, I will say I think when it becomes unhealthy, right? So I will say when it becomes unhealthy, when it is financially impacting your home. And some people might be like, no, well, that's not an addiction. But I think when it's financially impacting your home, I think when it is maybe morally impacting, when it is when you're missing work, when you're shirking off your responsibilities, when you're late for something all the time, it just when you're lying about something, you're hiding it. I mean, there's so many different levels to addiction depending on what the addiction is.
Wow.
Right? Because if you look at, women or men who have a shopping addiction, right? They're hiding clothes. They're not paying their rent. They're not paying their bills so they can shop.
Yeah.
It's funny. I dated a girl one time who had all of these different soaps I know it's funny. It sounds crazy, but Doc, at any given time, you could open a closet in her house. I mean, and it was just full of bath soap.
Like Dove and like all that kind of like
All
soap.
kind of crazy. And no matter where she went, she would buy soap. So one day I said, yo, what?
So she's
Like,
a
what's
soap
up?
addict?
I said, no. She said, growing up, she said, my mother was a crackhead growing up. We were never clean.
Mm.
She said, we were never, ever, ever clean.
Wow.
She said, we went to school, we were dirty, or we'd have to go to the neighbor's house in the morning, or, you know, whatever it is. They go to a gas station on the way to school, try to get clean. So she said, we always got teased. So in her mind, she was like, I never want to run out of soap. I always want to have. Now, was it impacting her financially? Maybe. I don't know. But to me, it was excessive. Like, it was overly excessive. And I had to ask her, I said, do you know how many bars of soap you had? She said, if I had to guess, throughout the house, in the basement, and different places in the house, she said maybe 3,000 or 4,000 bars of soap. Because she buy them online, like wherever she went, she buys soap, like Target. What? Yeah, I mean, BJ, wherever she went, the specialty bars of soap everywhere.
Yo, Troy, you can only wash your skin but so much, bro.
I get it. And it's not that she wasn't bathing.
She was just stacking them. She was just stacking soap.
Stacking soap.
And like you said earlier, Troy, and like it's comical, it's funny, right? Because I could have took that so many ways, because I still got so many questions to ask about that. But on a serious note, addiction can show up in so many ways. And right there, Troy, like that, I think that proved my point, to the point of she hadn't dealt with the trauma that she had from early in life about not being clean.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like there was something there that's causing her to act out that way. And that's what I'm learning now about. I've been studying the psychology and people like the last few months, and I'm learning more about myself. And the one thing I'm learning is the more I learn about me is the more I learn about everyone else, because we're all wired the same. So I'm thinking about things logically, and I'm like, yo, if addictions come, they have to come because there's something there's malfunction, right? Naturally, you don't just bring things into your life that's going to bring harm to you and do it naturally over and over again. That's not natural.
Well, I think sometimes addictions happen by accident, though. I will say I think they do.
No, I won't say that they won't have the accident, because we already know our own homeboy, rest his soul, DMX. I believe his accidental. Yeah. He didn't intentionally pick up crack. He was tricked. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there are some circumstances to that point.
When I say accidental, I mean, the first time, I won't say the first time somebody picks up a drink, but I won't name names, but one of my brothers has a drinking problem, right? And he and I talk on a regular basis. We're just now getting back into contact with each other. And he had a drug problem prior to that, right? And a part of, I think, that came about through trauma, right? They were in foster care. My grandmother died. They were in foster care, right? They went through an excessive amount of trauma, which led to him picking up drugs. He put down drugs, but he picked up drinking, right? He picked up alcohol. And he's working on it, but I think it was a natural progression. Like, I'm putting one thing down, let me pick up something else. But I don't think, obviously, he did not intend to become an addict. He was trying to cover pain that he had been through.
And once again, Troy, you just reinforcing my point. Like the addictions happen because there's something that hasn't been addressed.
Yeah.
There is something deep down within, because, yo, Troy, we're all made in the likeness of the Creator. Every last one of us. I don't care what we're shaped like. I don't care how we developed over the years. We're all created in the likeness and image of the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a certain pattern about how we should go about things and how our brain processes things. And only way we get to certain spaces is because of certain circumstances, right? Things happen through our lifetime. The experience called life, it happens. But when we don't deal with those things that happen to us in our lives, this is where addictions have their way to creep in. Because one thing I've learned, and I've seen even in my own life, how where I found a point in time in my life, I was playing with drugs and almost got addicted to certain drugs. Because what happened was this, and it's so visual to me. It's almost crazy, like a movie. Thursday nights, get off of work, have a great night in the club, right? Because Thursday night is when the first night it pops off for the weekend. Thursday night, we have a phenomenal night. Get drunk, have a great night, might even pop some ecstasy, have a great night, right? Come back, go to work. Friday night, we got to do that all over again. Thursday night was crazy. We got to do it again Friday. So now, Friday, we do it again. We ain't got no work on Saturday, so we could just chill, do it as much as we want. We could stay out as late as we want. Now, the fact that this party life has become so real to me and fun to me, that's all I want to do. I just want to party, right? I want to keep having the same feeling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to take this feeling that I have fun with and wash out all the other feelings that I have throughout the day. I don't want to feel the feeling of feeling insecure about myself. I don't want to have the feeling of going to this job that I hate for 8 hours. I don't want to have the feeling of dealing with yelling at my mom, being yelled at me all day. I don't want to deal with the feeling of my wife, everybody jumping down my back. I'm going to party. So this is what happens. Instead of dealing with the thing that you're not happy with, the things that hurt, the things that will bring you some discomfort immediately, right? Instantly is going to bring you some discomfort for the long-term comfort. Instead, we try to have that instant gratification, which is those things that bring us comfort in those moments.
Yeah. And I think sometimes it's also a rush, right? I've talked to people who gamble, right? I remember the first time I went to Atlantic City, and I was much younger. This is even before I was married the first time. And bro, I lost my rent money.
Yo, yeah, I know about it.
And it was crazy because I tried to keep winning it back. So I'll never forget. We were on a bus trip, and I was with my grandmother and my girlfriend, ex-wife my ex-wife at the time. And I went to my grandma. I said, "Hey, I need $60." She said, "Don't go spend it all in the casino." But I went right back to that same dude where I had already lost like $1,200.
Yeah.
And gave him another, thinking I could win, but it was the rush. Like, he let me get up, and then, right. So from there, I'm at this point in my life, I'm even hesitant to play lotto. Mm-hmm. Right. I'd rather get into an office pool and let somebody else play. I'll be like, "Hey, pick the numbers." Right. People be like, "Yo, I bet you." Nah. I don't even want to play them games.
Yo, Troy, it's so funny you brought that up because like my first experience, and I'm glad it happened to me, was literally the reason why I don't gamble. I don't gamble with nothing that I can't control myself. So what happened was a friend of ours of the family named Pete was like, "Yeah, my mom's needs help moving her stuff down from Maryland, one part of Maryland to the other." So it was about like 6, 7 of us. So by the time we got there and got it done, it was way earlier than we thought. So he said, "Instead of going back, I can get you guys in the casino. Let's go." So we all were like, "Yo, bet it's our first time going to a casino." We all like 18, 19. Cool. Let's go do that. So Troy, I had $200 in my pocket, right? So I'm like, "Man, I'm about to go into the casino, turn this and just see what I could do with it." Yeah, I get all the way up to 800, Troy. I am in my element. I'm like, I got this bag. You hear me? I just blew this bag up in here, Troy. And I'm in there playing the slots, coins. So I got big buckets of quarters. I'm just walking around with. I'm amped, Troy. Before I knew it, yo, yeah, I was down to 50 cents, Troy. I had $200 when I walked in there, got up to $800 and walked out of there with 50 cents in my pocket.
I got a fly in my house, bro. Crazy.
Yo, but the moral of the story was that I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where you can get in trouble at. Like, we have experience that we're not ready for in life. And then we get swallowed up by them. And then they become the addictions. Right. Because like you said, had I walked out of there, Troy, up with money, I'd have went back the very next day. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know me, know how I am now. If I'd have made that money that day and left out of there with $800, oh, I'm going back.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You know, and it's crazy because, you know, just to kind of switch from like gambling, you know, I had the hip surgery, and I was having an issue with my knee. As a result, something that happened kind of post-surgical from the surgery. But I remember being in here one night. I was in so much pain, not even my hip, my knee. And I don't know, I took like 3 or 4 Percocet.
Oh, shoot. You was high as a bitch in there.
5 milligrams, right? 325. But wait, on top of that, I still fucked around and took 4 Tylenol PM. Because I was exhausted. I hadn't slept. I was in pain. And I was like, I just need to sleep. I just need to get some sleep. I can maybe deal with the pain.
You ain't want to wake up.
But you want to go to sleep. But the crazy thing is, right? And this is where I want people to understand, doctors and somebody who might be dealing with pain. There are alternatives.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Because all pain medicine isn't made the same.
That's a fact.
Because the knee pain, although my knee was not swollen, it wasn't injured. The Percocet wasn't addressing my pain
whatsoever
at all.
Masking.
Right. So I want people out there, people within the sound of my voice, listen, if you've got certain pains and your doctor's just prescribing you narcotics, listen, go see another doctor, because there are other things, right? It was really just inflammation that was causing the pain in my knee. Something that 6 days of steroids of being on prednisone and 2 Aleve a day fixed in 6 days. Now, my issue might be completely different than somebody else's, but I'm hoping that maybe I make a difference for somebody that hears this, that says, yo, I'm taking these drugs for this pain, but it's not addressing it. Something else could be wrong.
Right.
And some of these doctors are just simply prescribing prescription drugs. And honestly, after that, I'll tell anybody, listen, I started doing edibles, THC, CBD. I went back, you know, I was never like a huge, crazy smoker, but went back to smoking occasionally, right, to kind of deal with the rest of the hip pain after post-surgery.
Right.
I might take, if I do too much in a day since the surgery, I might take an Aleve, but for the most part, listen, I be in here stoned out my brain on some drops. But my thing is, how many people do you know are addicted to weed? What Dave Chappelle said, you ain't never sucked dick for weed. Like,
facts.
Right.
Facts. So, I ain't never heard nobody say that.
Yeah. But it's crazy how people get into trouble with drugs and alcohol and gambling and pornography, right? And that's another thing that, you know, we probably should address to the fathers out here, maybe even to some mothers that might be listening.
Yo,
porn is a dangerous addiction.
Facts. Yo, Troy, we can dive into that as a matter of fact, because you talking to somebody like that. I've never had an addiction to porn, but I can see how dangerous it could be. I can truly see, because, yo, it takes you to another world. Like, it takes you out of reality.
Yeah.
And anything that removes you from reality can be a very, very dangerous thing, man.
Yeah, because what happens is you see this thing, right, and your mind, and you're visually attracted to it. Right. And it is not the norm. It is not, quote unquote, normal sex. And then you're looking at your partner like, why you can't do it? Like, so what happens is you can't get it over here from your partner. So now you start spending more time in front of your computer, on your phone, wherever, wherever you are. And it's like you disconnect from realities. And studies have shown there are men and or women who, because they're so wrapped up in porn, men can't maintain erections. Women can't have orgasms because what they're used to getting aroused to, when it comes to just regular normal, and I don't want to keep saying normal sex, because everybody's sex life, what might be normal to me might be not normal to you.
Right.
So I'm going to say this about porn. These people get paid for the extremes, right? They get paid to do the extremes. For all intents and purposes, they are actors. They are, fuck it, I'm going to call some of these people stunt men and women.
Shout out to all the stunt porno stars out there, right?
Listen, I know this is supposed to be a family-friendly show, but bro, when you see a woman take 3 penises up her butt, that's a stunt as far as I'm concerned. Bro.
I had to. Like, I know the listeners is like, yo, is he gonna get rid of him? Yeah, I had to, y'all. Y'all know he was coming for that one.
No,
but penises in the butt. Yeah, I had to get you out of here.
The point is, I make fun of it. It's not normal. Now, is there somebody out there who might like it? Yeah, but is that the norm? And again, I'm careful with saying what the norm is.
Right.
But the reality is,
say norm to you.
Yeah, the reality is, if it's causing you damage and it's causing your partner emotional and or physical harm, there's a problem.
Yo, so when you say emotional, because like for real, that right there is so big, Troy, when you start talking about the porn, because when you disconnect from your partner, it's not like that's happening. That happens over time.
Now, I think sometimes it can happen instantly, Doc.
You think that so Troy, you think in a relationship, a person can instantly just detach their emotions from somebody because of a porn experience?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's insane to me.
Absolutely.
To me, that sounds absurd, because you're telling me right now, I can pick my phone up, right? And I can look at this episode of some wild shit and be like, oh, you know what? No, I'm about to go.
Think about the first time somebody takes a hit of crack and they disconnect.
So you putting porn and crack on the same level, Troy?
It's an addiction. If we're talking about an addiction, it is an addiction, Doc. Yeah, I'm putting it on the same level, because here's the reality.
One is chemical and more is mental.
Let me just say it like this to you. You don't know whether a person became an alcoholic off of the first drink they ever had or the 1,000th drink they ever had.
But that's still a chemical, though. That's a chemical.
Porn is a chemical. It creates it creates a release of serotonin in the brain. Serotonin is what makes us feel good.
Right. So the actual, because I'm thinking to myself, like, you can't become dependent on porn. Like, can you physically become dependent on porn?
Absolutely. You have people who cannot be in a physical, intimate relationship because of porn. They are not intimately available. Here,
I get what you're saying, but physically, like they're not available mentally, because
sometimes they're not available physically either, Doc, because they cannot get aroused, because what they're experiencing, what they've been watching, a man or a woman at home who's at home constantly watching porn all day long. And you have some people all day long, my guy. They cannot be in a normal, physical, healthy relationship because of what they're viewing literally all day. And because porn is so wide, like you can literally go from genre to genre to, like, nigga, porn is like fucking Baskin Robbins, bro.
All 31 flavors, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy. If you go on X videos or Pornhub or whatever it is, there's literally like a category for everything.
Yeah, yo, Troy, but my thing is the difference because the difference between ingesting something and visually intaking something is different.
Doc, you are visually ingesting sex. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, don't get me wrong out here. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with porn. I enjoy it.
Yeah, we ain't disheartened. I'm actually learning right now. I'm actually in this learning.
Anything that you consume in copious amounts has the potential to be detrimental to your health, physically and emotionally, and to other people around you because you disconnect. So the first time that somebody might watch a porn, maybe who's never watched porn before, or who's looking for something different, and they find it, and they go to their partner and they say, hey, can we experiment? And maybe they get shut down because, again, what the partner might be used to is this thing you're bringing to me is so, I can't wrap my mind around it. But that's where communication comes in. But that's something, that's another topic later on.
Mm-hmm.
The person says, oh, you can't do it. I know who can. www.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
freeporn.com, whatever it is, and then you go searching. And then you go searching some more, and you go searching a little deeper, and you go searching a little deeper, and you go searching a little deeper.
But I just, to me, just in my opinion, Troy, I just think that it's totally different when it's a mental than more of a chemical or physical. I mean, when a chemical substance.
Yeah, but we're talking about addictions, right? So addictions, there is no good way to get addicted to anything.
Nah, but what I'm saying is, all right. So when you introduce something into your body, you're introducing a foreign substance into your body. Your body now ingests that substance. Mm-hmm. Your body is now chemically depending on it. So you now have to keep bringing that substance back into your body. Now I get what you're saying. Porn is the same way. You got to keep ingesting it into your eyes. But what I'm saying is that's more of in my very own opinion, is an easy break when you think about it compared to something that you now have to ingest physically that you're chemically depending on.
Guess what? When someone ingests alcohol or someone ingests pills, they're looking for that, whatever that feeling is that they get.
Right.
Typically, when a person is ingesting porn, there's a feeling that they get through that orgasmic release, or whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish. There's a feeling that they get. When a gambler is gambling, although he's not ingesting anything, he is putting this thing in his mind that says, or is saying, I can win. The next hand, I can win. The next roll of the dice, I can win. All I need is one more chance. I've counted the cards. The odds have to be in my favor.
Right.
They're ingesting something. Sometimes there are people around them who are cheering them on. They're ingesting that. They're taking that in. So no, it's not a physical chemical. They're not smoking anything. They're not injecting anything into their arms. But what they are taking in from that environment around them, what that person might be taking in from their computer or from their phone, is their release, is their way of escaping the real world.
You know, Troy, it's so crazy. Like I said, I was learning in real time listening. So I appreciate you breaking it down to me, because this is why we always say we got to be careful what the things we listen to, our environments that we're in, the things we watch, right? Because literally these things are going into us. We are ingesting them. Like, to everyone listening to us right now, you are ingesting this information. You are ingesting this vibe right now. Everything we're talking about, you're intaking.
But we want y'all to we want y'all to get addicted to the Imperfect Fathers, though.
Oh yeah. Take your daily dose. That's a fact. Take your weekly dose on all social platforms, on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. take your weekly dose of the Imperfect Fathers podcast. You need to get addicted on that. Facts.
But Doc, you know what? It is it's crazy because we talked about drugs and alcohol and sex and porn.
Mhm.
but you have people who are addicted to social media.
Ooh, you going there, Troy?
No,
You
I'm
going
really
there?
in these last 15 minutes, I'm gonna go deep in there. You literally people who scroll through every single social media platform. They've got every single social media app on their phone, and they can tell you what's happening on every, like they can't function. They sit at work at their desk and they scroll, and you see them in the car and they're scrolling. You see them on the bus and on the train. Listen, people go to parties, people go to events, and they go sit in the corner and they plug their phones in and they ask for the code to the Wi-Fi at a party. You don't need the code to my Wi-Fi. And no, you can't. And I'm gonna start charging people for electricity use.
Yo, Troy. Yo, I'm glad you went there, Troy, because that was something that's like a major, major thing, bro. Like, it's crippling. Like, we really are allowing social media to take our lives from us. Bro. Like, yo, do you know that some people have even it's been studies that people have actually grown a hump in their neck right here because they're literally
doing this all day long,
all day. And you know, I've learned too, Troy, that to even do this for myself. Yo, try this from now on, Troy. Go into a room and look up at the ceiling. You never do it. We never do, because we go here, eye level here, and we scan it here. We never look up. Yeah. We never go into a place and look up. And this is why we're so addicted to these phones, bro. Like, one thing, you know what I watched the other day too that had me really messed up? That documentary on technology, on how they use technology to keep our attention. Yo, if you realize how much time you spend on your phone weekly,
especially when you click on ads.
Yo, Anisi hit us just now, yo.
Did she? What up, Auntie?
Anisi, what's good, baby?
What's up, Auntie?
I know it's her right now, but for some reason she's probably inside of my group, and she didn't sign into the names.
She talked about good evening, nephew. You know she old.
I'm not saying that. I'm not. Yeah.
Anisi addicted to that Geritol.
All right, Auntie, go ahead, handle your business. That's all I'm gonna say. Anisi, he got a new hip. That's all I'm gonna say. And Troy got a brand new hip, Nisi. So handle your business. Oh no, that's Unc. Okay, that means it's Emery. Emery was good. What's the word?
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. Yeah, so yeah, man. Well, Emery old too, so I ain't scared of Emery.
Yeah. Shout out to my Uncle Emery and his belly, y'all.
Right. He said, "Yes, that's me. That is him."
Shout out to my Uncle Emery and his belly.
Yo, I'm good, home resting. All right, that's what's up. That is good, what's up, man.
I'm glad. But nah, Doc, man, it's a real thing. You got to think about, like, we come from a different era, and I'm surprised when I see adults our age do it, right? Because I think I got you by, how old are you?
36.
36. I'm 46. So I got you by 10 years, right?
Yo, hold on. Unc said no more belly. Lost 20 pounds. Okay.
Now his feet just big. Before you didn't know how big his feet was.
You probably ain't seen his feet in a couple of years. You know what I mean?
Yo, we love you, Unc.
Yo, love you, nigga. Man. Word up.
Losing weight, man. Get healthy, man.
We can stay around with us for a long time. We need you.
A long time.
Word.
But you know, Doc, it is it's crazy because even adults my age, like I go to a function and I look at how many people, because we talk about addiction as a way to disconnect. And people go into a room where there are other people that they could be talking to, right? And entertaining and commingling with, and they literally do this the entire time.
But you know what that's from, Troy? We're going back to my point. Not dealing with what's going on with the interperson. Like, you much rather stay caught up in your safety zone, right? Because that's what the phone is. The phone is a safety, it's comfort. All right, I know what's on here, and whatever I don't want to deal with, I can just scroll away from. Right, this is my comfort zone. When you go into an atmosphere and you're meeting new people, especially now after COVID, our senses are off. Like it's weird when you walk into a room now full of people, they almost don't know how to intermingle now. It's almost strange. Yeah. So now all of our senses are off, and we're all right. I feel overload. Let me put my phone out. Right. And you watch people all the time try to see them. Like they have their phones in their hand, but they're still peeping up to see what's going on around them. It's like, yo, just let that go. Like whatever's in that phone will be there when you come back to check it later on.
But it's an addiction.
But Troy, I guess we got to talk about in the last at least 5 minutes. How do we break these addictions, man? Like how do we get away from these things that are holding us?
Well, I think sometimes you in terms of social media, I think sometimes you just got to make a good decision to say, I think it's probably maybe one of the least addictive of the addictions, if that makes sense. Right, where you can say, hey, I need to make a conscious decision to step away from social media platforms. Right, I've done it. I need to be conscious that maybe I need to put my phone down more often. Right, or when I go to a function, maybe I leave it in the car. Right, I'm around other people who have phones. I'm around people I know. Right. Now, obviously, unless you have kids and different things like that. I don't got little kids, right? I have nobody. If I go out, I can literally leave my phone any place because I don't have anybody that I have to be responsible for that needs to reach me in an emergency. Do I have children? Yeah, but I'm like, listen, you're going to still be bleeding by the time I get to you. So, so I think sometimes we have to make a conscious decision. And again, you know me, I'm always on the side of you can never have enough professional mental health care. No. You can never have enough. Facts. You can go to your therapist and say, yo, I literally think I have an addiction to my phone or social media. And they have a course of treatment to help you get over it. Right. So the same thing when it comes to drugs, sex, right? There are programs. There's Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, there's Gamblers Anonymous, and there are sex addict meetings.
And check this out for the people who don't know that you're addicted to your cell phone. You're addicted to your cell phone when you can't let 10 minutes pass without checking it twice. Like you're addicted to your phone when everything that you do, you have to check your phone first. Nah, I'm being serious, Troy, because like I really had to check myself because somebody showed me on my iPhone the
usage.
The usage and screen time. Yo, mine was up to 10 hours in a week, Troy.
A day, you mean?
Yes, 10 hours a day. I'm like, yo, what am I doing on my phone for 10 hours? It didn't make any sense. So I had to really start checking myself. So now, oh yeah, now when I'm working, I'm working. My phone's not even in my office when I'm working. You can't you can't call me when I'm in here because my phone is plugged in my room. Yeah. Because you need to like set a system up to help yourself. And if you can't, like you said, Troy, I'm with you now, Troy. At all times, go get the help you need. Like if you need the help, don't let your pride or ego be in the way. Go get the help you need. You can right now we got a help number going across the bottom of the screen that we've had for the whole show, guys. If you need the help, go ahead.
1-800-662-4357. National Helpline. 1-800-662-4357, man. You can get help for a variety of things. But again, talk to somebody, man. Just you can get help through a variety of different religious organizations, non-denominational religious organizations. Right. You don't necessarily have to be a member of a church or specific group to get help. Right. Again, mental health support, critical. Right. There's so many avenues available to us that if we're going to use our phones, we can no longer say, man, I can't find help because it's right at your fingertips.
Yo, and my thing is this. You use your phone for everything else. It's been proven now, right? We in the middle of this great age we're in technology. You can have a car pull up to your front door. You can have a meal brought to your door. You can do almost anything. You can bank over your phone. You can do everything through your phone. But you can also take the time to get some help through your phone.
Yeah.
There's apps, there's places, and guess what? We got my man KB pulling up for the last 5 minutes. What it do, King?
What up,
You
King?
already know what it do. How y'all feeling?
Good,
Man,
man.
we cooling, man. We cooling. We just vibing as usual.
All right.
We were just kind of wrapping it up. Actually, you know, we on the last five of the show, so we was
Yes,
talking
sir.
about addictions and what they cost. We didn't really get into what they cost, so that might be next week. You know what I mean? We might even do a part two, depending how we feel, whatever. But really quick, KB, talk to somebody right now that's dealing with addiction, man.
Seek help, because a lot of times when we think that what we could easily get into, we can't necessarily easily get out. So you got to go and get the help that you need to be able to get over it. Sometimes it's kind of like lifting weights that's above your weight class. You got to have a spotter. That thing
Right.
is on your chest, and you need that person to kind of just help you lift it up. It's not completely up to them. You still got some heavy lifting to do. Probably
Facts.
got that ugly face, huh?
Nah, yeah, you was breaking up the last part. We got what you're saying though.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Because what I heard you say was get help when you be lifting them BBWs.
Oh wow. All right. See, so you knew it was gonna happen just because you're here, KB. You knew he had to get out of here one time just because you pull up.
KB said what you get going in is not what you might get going out. Shout out to all the sexy big girls out there, man.
Yo, listen, Troy, get your last word so we can get up out of here. My kid just walked in the door. I'm super excited to see him.
Yo, listen. The cost of addiction can be everything. Death, family, kids, children. It can be everything. And a lot of times we are in a spiral, and we know we're in a spiral. We just don't know how to get out of it. And sometimes you just got to take the time to slow down. You know, when you're in a spiral in the car, they say just kind of let go. You just got to stop doing what you're doing. And go ask for help.
Yo, for real. I appreciate that. And to everybody out there, man, I really hope that this episode brought value to you guys out there. And anyone that needs help, listen, my final words to you is this. There's nothing wrong with needing help. There's nothing wrong with that, y'all. It's okay to need the help. What's not okay is to know you need the help and not go get it. That's what's not okay. That's when it becomes wrong. That's where it becomes a real issue. So needing the help, don't let your ego or your pride get in the way. Get the help you need, because you and your future, you deserve it. No one else deserves it more than you do. You deserve to be whole. And that addiction is just stopping you from being the greatest part of you. So go get the help you need and do everyone a favor around, because I'm telling you, when you get yourself back together, everyone else can appreciate it. So with that being said, y'all, listen, we appreciate everybody checking in with us this week. This has been a phenomenal episode as usual. It wasn't on our usual laugh, hee ha 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 joke, but it's one of those that we really felt like we had to get out there and speak our minds on and speak from our hearts. So with that being said, guys, your fathers, you know the information, you know the drill. To the world, you're just a dad. But to your family, you're the world. As you can hear, mine's is walking the crib, so I'm pretty excited.
Go beat your kids.
Right. But check this out, guys. Until next time I see y'all again, be good to yourself and the ones around you. And if you can't be good to the ones around you, that's okay. Just get those folk from around you. Yo, this is RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman. This has been the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Peace, y'all.
Peace out.
Yo.
My loud ass kids.